What's up, y'all? It's your girl S to the C, Scorpio, S to the C, twerk goddess. Wanted to talk to you today about relationships. And the most important relationship that anybody can have is the one with God. You have to have some type of spirituality, faith, or religious belief in today's time just to deal with everything that's going on and just to kind of have balance. The second most important relationship that anybody can have is a relationship that they have with themselves. A lot of times people feel like, you know, they'll become their best self when they get a partner, or they'll get excited about life, or they can fall in love with themselves based on being with somebody else. Some people get into relationships because they fear being lonely, or they're actually lonely. Some people get into relationships for financial reasons. They feel like they can't bear the burden of paying all the bills, and so we see that a lot, especially in today's time. People get in relationships for financial reasons. But the best relationship that anybody can have is a relationship with themselves, aside from their relationship with God, their personal relationship with God, because your spiritual, faith-based, religious relationship is a personal relationship. So it still kind of falls back on you having a good relationship with yourself. So that means don't wait till you get into a relationship to start exercising. Don't wait till you get into a relationship to start, practicing self-care and self-love. Don't wait until you get into a relationship to want to be organized and, want to be neat. A lot of times when people get into relationships, they put on this facade, or they're just super extra. So let's just say, for example, a person wasn't really that neat, or they didn't keep their car clean, or they wasn't really domesticated cleaning their home, and now they're in a relationship. They might start cooking, cleaning, and just putting the extras on it. And people will be like, wow, like you wasn't doing that before. And that's why we see a lot of times when people get in relationships, people be like, oh, you changed, or, you doing this. But see, if you was practicing that self-love and having that intimate relationship with yourself, taking yourself out on dates, buying yourself flowers, doing the things that you value and that you wouldn't mind like your partner or your significant other doing, then most definitely, it wouldn't be so noticeable. People wouldn't say, oh, well, I see you dressing different, or, oh, you got a glow. That's because now that person is in a relationship, they feel motivated to impress. Because we about, a lot of people out here trying to flex and impress, so other people will notice that glow. But you got to start the footwork for yourself, by yourself, before you even think about getting them in a relationship. And the reason why is because when two people get into a relationship, you bring in baggage if that person has baggage, you bring in drama if that person has drama. You got to think about the family history, the family dynamics, their health, their finances, the way they interact with others. Are they rude? Are they obnoxious? All these different factors come into play, because the two will become one, and that could possibly affect you, especially like financially. We heard a lot of stories about people get with people, whether it's male or female or same-sex relationships, because our LGBTQ community, they got their fair share of issues too. Is this person abusive? Did they grow up in an abusive home as a child? Are they reenacting and reliving, that abuse that they witnessed as a child? Like, it's so many factors and elements that goes into it. But if you stay true to you and prioritize your relationship with yourself, any drama or any chaos in a relationship will just roll off your back. It wouldn't bother you as much, because you know that you are the primary focus of your life. And that's just my message for today, is like, prioritize you and your relationship with God. Prioritize your relationship with yourself, because if you don't, no other relationship that you have is really going to matter. You know what I mean? You have to be able to identify where things are healthy for you in a relationship, or where things are not so healthy or unhealthy that you may need to move on. And what I found is, a lot of times when people don't do the inner work, they stay in toxic relationships. They stay in chaotic relationships, feeling like no one else will want them or no one else will love them. Well, how well do you love yourself? How well do you care for yourself? You shouldn't be the person that you don't really care for yourself and you don't practice self-love and self-care, but now you in a relationship pouring all this, energy and all your love and emotions into somebody else, because that's a sure way for heartbreak. If it's not reciprocated, if that person is not expressing that type of genuine love and care back into you. So it ultimately resorts back to you putting that focus within yourself. So that's my message for today, y'all. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. As you can see, the shift is shifting. Things are changing, and I have a lot of good news coming soon. But prioritize your relationship with God. Prioritize your relationship with yourself. Practice self-care, because no one's going to love you like God, and no one's going to love you like you love you. So you know what you want. You know what you're willing to put up with. You know what you're not willing to accept. So practice self-care, practice self-love, and be true to you. And again, no one's going to validate you. A relationship is not going to justify your place. A relationship's not going to fulfill your purpose in life. So you have to spend time with self, do the inner work, and value yourself, practice self-love. I can never say that enough. And one more thing, self-care and self-love is not selfish. So don't let nobody talk you out of spending time with yourself, focusing on yourself, and doing the inner work, just to be the better version of yourself. Because if you're not that, don't expect for a healthy relationship. If you're not that, if you're not a whole, complete person outside of a relationship, don't expect a relationship to magically just allow that to happen. So with that being said, it's your girl S to the C, twerk goddess, S to the C, Scorpio. Shout out all my Eastside babies. Be blessed.